Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling Magic Monday start. Oh, it's been an awesome day already. I didn't get to bed till late last night. I had plans to go to bed at 9:30. That just didn't work out. I kept doing jigsaws on the iPad. But that's okay. I have a question for you, though. I'm very curious to see what your response to this question. Christmas Day has come and gone. When do you stop playing Christmas music? I know some people like it all year round, but our neighbor down the street has had his speakers out for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he's still putting it out every morning. He put it out yesterday morning. I thought, that's fine. That's okay. But now we're on Monday. We're 2 days past Christmas, and he's still blasting the same CD that has just been on loop after loop after loop after loop. And the only time it gets turned off is around 9 o'clock at night, I guess, when he goes to bed, and it's back on again around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. How long do you keep playing Christmas music in public for after Christmas? There's a question for you. Because I thought, yes, no, I don't have to sit and listen to that repetitive CD going over and over again. And I walked outside this morning to go for our walk, and I was like, he's still going, and we're 2 days past Christmas. So I'm just curious. But I've already had a magical start this morning, have been great. I'm actually on my 2022 planner already because it started a week before. Well, actually, it starts on a Monday and goes to Sunday. So, of course, this week, Sunday would be the 2nd of January. So I got my planner. It's up here. It's all set up, and I'm super excited. Because I've got plans in there. I've got stuff written in there. I got an invite this weekend I have to go put in there. A very important invite too. So the end of February, it looks like I'm going to be in California for a short time. I got to go over there because it's my middle son is having, him and his wife are having their baby shower for number 1 for them, number 4 for me, number 1 for them. On the grandchild. On the grandchild department. It'll be number 4, but it's going to be there first. So they're having a baby shower at the end of February. So I've been invited to that. And so I'm now putting plans in place and trying to see where I can go stay, where there's a place where I'm going to have to be able to board Zeffie for some of the time that I'm there, simply because I don't know how long the baby shower is going to be. I can't leave her alone in the RV for that length of time. The most I've done in the RV with her has been about an hour and a half, 2 hours max. And she's kind of a little freaked out when I get back around that time as well. Tried all sorts of different calming things and all of that, and nope. So need to find somewhere to board her, based on where I'm going to be camping as well, where I'm going to be parking. I have a place that I like to go because of its location, but they've now gotten super expensive for overnight stays or week-long stays. Their rates are horrendous right now. And the place isn't even that good. I mean, they're starting to deal with more homeless people coming onto the resort using the showers, even though all the bathroom facilities are key coded and all of that. Somehow they're getting in when people leave, and they go in there and they use the facilities, leave them a big mess. And they're very nice facilities that they have, but they've got a big problem. And there's a park over the back fence where a lot of them are camping out and sleeping and that sort of thing as well. And I used to go and walk Zeffie up in that park, and then I got up there one day, and there were these 2 guys standing over near the restrooms, and there was some sort of deal going down on something. I don't know what, but my gut had a strong sense to pull me back to get back to the campground. It was just a gut feeling, and it was a gut. And Zeffie picked up on it, and even though she was sort of like trotting around this way, she just suddenly does a U-turn and heads straight back to the gate without me telling her anything. So that was kind of freaky that I was having this gut instinct to get out of there and get out of there now. And Zeffie was sort of like, I'm on the same wavelength with you, Ma. Let's get out of here. And then there was this woman who would turn up. Somehow and I would vary my times of going over to the park in the morning to walk Zeph. And this woman would always be there. She'd be sitting in her car, She'd be sitting in her car, and she'd get out of her car as soon as I came over the hill. So I don't know how long she'd been sitting in her car before I came there, but every time I went there, she was there, and she would get out of her car and kind of follow us around the park. And, I said, good morning. It was polite the first time I saw her and said good morning, because she usually said, hello to people who walk around in a park. But this park is kind of in an isolated area as well. So, yeah, it was a little dodgy going over there in the morning, being a female out there by myself with my dog. So I kind of stayed away from that. But, that campground's kind of gotten a little... They keep saying, oh, well, what's the location that we're in? I'm like, okay, you're 2 seconds off the freeway. That I get, but that's about the only good point about your campground. It's not as good as it was when I first started going there over 2 years ago. A lot of the services have gone downhill. They're not upkeeping it as well. Yes, it still looks nice, but it doesn't feel as well upkept. The staff, even though it's the same staff, they're not as friendly as they used to be. And I kind of got in an argument, and I made friends with the girl at the front desk there one time, and I kind of got in an argument with her one time because she was not making sense on how the rates worked, not at all on how the rates worked. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. It makes no sense whatsoever that you have to manually go in and change rates when the system is automatically set up to do it. I said, you can't. I said, I used to work in a hotel on a booking system and all that. So I know you don't have to go in and do that if it's set up correctly. Well, it's not set up correctly. And I said, nope, it's given me this rate. This is the rate it's quoted me. That's the rate I expect to pay. Yeah. So I won't be staying at that one. So I won't be staying at that one. And after being in this nice, big, wide one as well, this is very narrow. Literally, my slide comes out and I barely have room to walk down the side of my slide. And so my slide goes from one side of there's a garden in between each, in the area that I have to stay because of the size of my vehicle. They have a garden between each site. So this slide here slightly overhangs the garden on that side, and the awning touches the edge of the garden on the other side. That's how wide these spaces are. I can back in there, no problem at all. It's not a problem. I can get in there. And I usually don't have to shuffle around in there either. So I just back in, go out, check everything. Am I sitting in the right place? Is my back end back far enough that I can get a car in front and all of that sort of stuff? So, yeah, but we'll see. And then they're also like, well, you could drive out here. And I'm sort of like, yeah, it's a little freaky, because then I've got to use public restrooms, and I have to leave Zeffie in the car when I stop at rest areas to go to, if I need to go into use the facilities, I've got to leave Zeffie in the car, and she starts whining. People are going to think she's in distress, so they're going to break in to see what's going on, because she will be in distress. So it's sort of like, I'm going to have to take the RV in. But there's a couple of campgrounds that I know are really good campgrounds down closer to downtown, which is where we're going to be. So it's just finding daycare down there for Zeph. It's going to be the fun part. They said that there's, they got a hotel that's reserved for the baby shower. So this must be one heck of a baby shower they're having, because they've got rooms reserved at a hotel, and apparently somewhere across the road from the hotel is a dog place, dog kennels. So I'm going to have to check it out and see, because I'm very particular when it comes to her as to which dog kennel she goes to. But anyway, so that's coming up in February. We're going to get through all those obstacles and get out there to California, get to catch up with the whole family, which will be nice. Got to travel up to LA at some point, probably do a day trip up to LA to go see everybody up there. Let them know I'm coming. I'm like, LA traffic. Ugh. Yeah, there's a reason. And I'm not taking the RV to LA. No way whatsoever. No. The closest I've come to driving my RV in LA is driving from Santa Barbara to San Diego around the outskirts, and keeping away from the other areas of LA that are very heavy traffic ones. Although that wasn't too bad when we came through with Mum and Dad. That was actually a pretty good drive. So yes, I'm going to have to arrange to let people know, hey, I'm going to be in town, and I'm only in town for this time. Are you available to meet? So I have to leave early in the morning, get up there, and I don't know, maybe we'll stay with somebody, but then I've got to think I've got Zeffie with me as well. So we'll have to see about that. But we'll work it out. It's going to be fine. It's going to be awesome, because I get to see my the in-laws, get to meet up with, get to catch up with all of them. The nieces and nephews, get to catch up with all of them, or all the ones that are in town anyway. They'll get to meet Zeph. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Because Zeffie's so cute. Did I tell you she beat a whippet yesterday? Oh, I'm so proud of her. Those dogs were running really fast, and Zeffie just flew past them. Yeah, and then took off. She flew past them, then took off. Figure that one out. And I'm looking around, and people are like, I'm like, so proud of my little girl. I'm looking around, and people are like, you know. Whereas the whippets they had whippets and greyhounds running yesterday, and they beautiful, elegant looking dogs that are definitely built for speed. It's like when you see the horses, you know the race horses because they're built to race. And then there's those that are working ones that are more stockier and muscular. And Zeffie next to the greyhound, I mean, I think she looks pretty sleek as she is, but then you see her next to the greyhounds and the whippets, and they are so sleek and elegant and very classical lines and everything else. And then Zeffie next to them, she's like this, she's like short, stocky, and fast. But anyway, so talking about totally off subject today. Pull the sleeves up. All right, we're getting the sleeves up. We're getting to work. Right. It's Magic Monday. It's time to get things in place. If you have not already got things in place for 2022, this is the week you need to do it. If you're not working this week, if you've got the week off or whatever, take advantage of it. Me, I am working this week, and I am working my butt off this week. I've got things I need to get into place for 2022 that are going to be done by the end of the week. I have things that I need to get done for clients that are going to get done this week. I have a very busy week, and I am super excited because my 2022 planner is all set up. It's ready to go. And I've got stuff that's going to be coming, that's going to be rolling into place as we go into 2022. I've got plans on things that I want to get done. I have my birthday resolutions written out. So I've been working on those already. The first step is to write them down. The second step is to take a step the first step is to write it down. Next step is to take a step towards something, towards one of those goals by doing research. Working out exactly. So I've been looking, one of the things is that in my resolutions is that I find my place for my log cabin where I don't have to clear any trees because it's already naturally like that, which I'm going to love because I don't want to take down any trees. And so now I've been looking at floor plans because I know what the outside's going to look like. So I've been busy looking at floor plans for log cabins and just going, well, that's not too bad. Yeah, no, I don't like that one. Don't like that one. So I'm trying to find that floor plan, or at least something that will spark and go, oh, well, if I just do this or that, then it's going to look awesome. It's going to be exactly what I need. So I know if I'm going to have, I may have a loft area upstairs, but that loft area will be for when the grandkids come and stay. So they get thrown up there to the loft. And my bedroom will be a master bedroom downstairs. So it's going to be a first floor master. There'll be a loft area upstairs for the kids where they can go play, sleep, whatever. There'll be futon mattresses on the floor, that sort of thing. They just lay down with their sleeping bags and sleep. I'm not making it. I'll make it comfortable and playful for them up there, but I don't want to be changing beds and linens and all that. It's just throw the sleeping bags down and the pillows and go to sleep, type of thing. So yeah, I've kind of got that portion worked out. Now it's deciding how the lower levels are going to be laid out, and it's definitely going to have a downstairs master bedroom. Definitely. I've done my years of running up and down stairs, and that was good exercise. But, I thought, being realistic, I tend to live there for a very long time, and I will be getting older, so it's going to be what can I manage to do, and I don't really want to be running up and down stairs all the time. I just want to wake up in the morning, look out at this view, sit out at the dining table with an open floor plan area, and be able to sit at the dining table and look out at the view. Everything's centered around the view. Yes, with my big wraparound porch. Found a place that was close. It had, it almost had a full wraparound porch around the whole thing. It went 3.5 sides, and I thought, well, that's close. That's close. Had to stop for the garage, so I figured I could handle that. But then I didn't like the floor plan. Floor plan just didn't work for me. So we'll have to keep looking. But, I'm starting with my other resolutions as well. I'm starting to put things in place for those, so where it's going to go. And with my planner, I have actually started scheduling things in there to help me accomplish my birthday resolutions. So This is what you need to be doing this week, is putting things in place, working out what it is you're going after, what are your goals for 2022, and start putting things in place to help get you kicked off. So come the 1st of January, you're already partway done. So yeah, that's it for me for today. Your question of the day is, what is one of your favorite holiday or vacation memories? Like I said, it doesn't have to be vacation. No, vacation. Last time we were talking about, what did we talk about last time? Oh yeah, Brad's first trip to New Zealand. That was fun when we surprised my parents. We stayed a couple of nights in Auckland and took them around the places there. Then we went up to Northland and we stayed in Paihia and did a bus tour that was basically all day. It was like a 12-hour bus tour. They picked us up at like 7 o'clock in the morning and they drove us up. And we're in Northland, like the very tip of the North Island. And they took us up through some other little towns and stuff, and then across the top of the peninsula there. We stopped at the what's the name of the forest there? It's a forest where the biggest, tallest kauri tree is, and these are these massive trees in New Zealand that we have, native New Zealand trees. And we went to this place that does petrified kauri, and they discovered this swamp that had all this kauri in it, and they've been recovering this kauri. And kauri is a gorgeous, gorgeous wood. It is absolutely stunning when it's stained and everything. The grain is stunning. It's a good hardwood. And they found this petrified kauri in these swamp areas. So they've been harvesting it out of there and creating all these different things. And the bus driver was telling us as we're getting up close to this place that there was a mandolin, I think it was. It's a mandolin or a violin? Mandolin. Had been made out of kauri, and they happened to have on the tour this time this guy who was a mandolin player, and so they actually got permission to take it out of the case so this guy could play it. And he said it was amazing, and the guy was super impressed, wanted to buy it, but didn't think he could explain to his wife when he got back home that he spent $42,000 New Zealand. I thought, well, if he was American at the time when we were there, but if he was American, that would have been about, $21,000 US, because it was almost a 50-50. It was almost 50 cents. Was it 50 cents American bought $1 New Zealand? It was almost on the 50 mark. I think it was actually like 60 cents. I thought, well, still would have, but he would have had to explain it to his wife, and he didn't think she would be very impressed. But he loved the sound. He said the sound of it was just unbelievable. And the way they had made this thing. But they also had this huge kauri stump in the middle of the store. And it was the staircase, and they had hollowed out the middle of it and created this staircase that took you up to the second floor of their store, where they had all the big furniture and stuff. They made like dining tables and chairs and rockers and all this sort of stuff. And that was really cool. And so we did that. And then they took us up the west side of the peninsula to 90 Mile Beach, and they actually took the bus along the beach. They take you out on the beach in the bus, and we're talking a full 40 foot, 42 foot bus, proper tour bus. Out there, we drove through the surf and everything. Then they took us up this creek, and they stopped on the creek so that you could go sand duning. What the hell is sand duning? And basically it's taking boogie boards, climbing up the top of these giant sand dunes, laying on the board and coming face first, sliding down the sand dunes on the board to see how far you could get across. And he took people up halfway, so you can go up the top if you like. But it was sort of like, you take one step and you sink down two. I had a bung knee at that time, so I couldn't go up on the sand dune as much as I wanted to. So Brad stood there at the bottom of the video camera, and my mum and dad went up about halfway up, and came flying down on these boards and things, and had a blast. And so we got it all on videotape, and that was a lot of fun. And then we went from there. We went all the way up to Cape Reinga, which is the tip of New Zealand, and walked down to the lighthouse that's there at the Cape. And you get to see the meeting of the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea. The Tasman Sea is green, the Pacific Ocean is blue. So you're standing there on the tip of New Zealand. You've got the Pacific Ocean on your right-hand side, the Tasman Sea on the left-hand side, and going out from the tip of New Zealand is this white, foamy area where the two seas are meeting. And they say that the reason I've heard different stories over the years when I've done this bus tour, but The one that I've heard the most often is that there's a 20-minute difference in the tides between the Pacific Ocean and the Tasman Sea, and that's why you get that rough water edging that goes out from the tip of New Zealand to where the two seas meet, and they have this foaming area, the white water area, because it's something to do with the conflicts on the tides or something. I just always thought they were just clashing. That was my story. I'm sticking to it. And then we came down and we went to where did we go next? I went to some club. It was a club of some sort. I can't remember the club, but they had lunch on there for us. So that was kind of nice. They had a cookout with burgers and hot dogs and that sort of thing, and that was kind of cool. And then we stopped at another little place somewhere along the way, and they did an ice cream stop. So I got some ice cream. Little dairy there. They go into the dairy, and dairy's like a 7-Eleven. You go into the dairy there, and they were hand scooping ice creams for us. So that was really cool. And then we came, but it was like a 12-hour trip. It was awesome. It was amazing. And Brad was like, this is really cool. He really, really enjoyed it that day. It was a long day, and most of it we were in the bus, but it was a fun day. We had a lot of fun. And then another day we went over to Russell. So we took the ferry from Paihia across to Russell. And Russell used to was the original capital of New Zealand before they moved it down to Wellington. And they used to have a lot of roughnecks in there. There's a lot of whalers that used to be there in the times that they were doing the whaling and things. And there's this old it's a Presbyterian or Catholic church. It's this old wooden church there. And there are still bullet holes in the walls, and they're holes. They go right through from the outside to the inside. There are bullet holes in the sides of the church from the whale wars that they had many years ago. So that was kind of cool to go see that. We went to the local tannery where they used to treat all the hides and everything to create books, and this was a mission that was a printing press, printing press. So we got to see how they did all the printing and everything, how they bound the books up. Downstairs they would tan the leather for the book covers, and they showed us how all that worked. And we actually got to see them hand stitching the pages of a book together, which was kind of cool because I'd never seen that before. And being somebody who loves books and had been a librarian for a number of years, that was really cool to see. And then what else did we do when we were up there? Oh, we took the boat ride out to the hole in the rock. Now, in the Bay of Islands, which is where we were, there's like 144 islands in this place. Some habited, some not. Some cannot be. And so we went on this trip that went out, but we were stopping at different ones along the way, and it was just a short stop. It's called the Milk and Cream Run, but it's really the mail run. And so they'll take stuff on, and they'll drop some supplies off as well. So they have this route that they have to do where they drop off supplies and mail, pick up whatever's outgoing from them, and that sort of thing. So we got to see all of that taking place. Then they took us out towards the Pacific Ocean, and they have this rock that has this big hole in the middle. And if the conditions are right, and it has to be the wind conditions, the tide conditions, the currents, everything has to be perfect for them to be able to take this boat through this hole in the rock. There is not a lot of wiggle room on either side of that rock. And so Brad and Dad were up on the bow of the ship, and Dad's taking photographs, and Brad's there with I think he was doing a video camera going through this thing. And at times he's looking up at the roof of this thing, and then you look down and then look to the side, and it was kind of cool. But we got to see lots of dolphins when we were on that boat trip as well, swimming there in the water. And that's one of the really cool tours that you can do in New Zealand, is that you go up there to the Bay of Islands, and you can actually do a dolphin, go swim with the dolphins, but you're swimming with the dolphins in their natural habitat. They even have boats that have these this big net that goes out on the side that you can sit on, and the dolphins come and swim across your legs and things. But these are just dolphins in the wild, and you get to go swimming with them. And I said, if I ever get to swim with the dolphins, that's where I want to do it. I don't want to be in a captive area where they're held captive or anything like that. I want to be in the natural habitat and just have the wild dolphins swimming around with you. I thought that would be pretty cool. And then they stopped off at one of the islands on the way back where there were tea rooms and everything, so we could have an afternoon tea. And we went climbing. Actually, no, Brad didn't come up with us. So Mum, Dad, and I went climbing up to the top of the hill of the island, and it was a fantastic view, 360-degree view of the Bay of Islands. It was stunning. It's one that I had not done before at that island, and so that was a new experience for me. And there's like this calm, like glass water all around, glass blue water all around you. And then the speedboat comes along and there's this white trail behind, and they're like doing these patterns in the water. So you get all this white trail from the wake and everything. It was awesome. And went back down, and we could see from the shore, we could see the dolphins playing out there as well. And as we were leaving, they just kind of glide out. And so the dolphins were swimming along beside us and all of that. But that was a great day out on the water. So much fun. And we had a lot of fun up there. Got a lot of stuff done. And we stayed in a police house. So the New Zealand police have different houses that they have bought around the country that the police can, if you've got to be a member of the police force to be able to use these houses, and you rent them. And you rent them out for a certain time. But the conditions is that you have to leave them how you found them. You have to be staying, the person who books it has to be staying in the house. And so we got to stay in these houses, and we had to clean it, dust, vacuum, clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen before we left, which wasn't too bad. 4 of us, we got it knocked out real quick. Had to remake we took our own linens with us. That's right. We had our own linens with us. And then we tooted off down to another part of New Zealand. So that's that part of the story. So anyway, I got to get out of here. I got a lot of stuff I need to do. Have a super fantastic sparkling day, and we will catch you guys later this evening around 6 p.m. Mountain Time. Hey, konera.